Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this cute card with products from Stampin' Up! I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this card on my website. I'll also have links if you would like to purchase any of these items, and those links will take you to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. This card uses Hello Harvest and the coordinating rustic pumpkin dies. A lot of fun. My ink is Cajun Craze and Tuxedo Black Memento. My cardstock is Mossy Meadow, and this is 5.5 by 7.5. Usually it's 8.5. I've cut it down an inch, so I get this like 1-inch section. I have a piece of basic black that is 3 3/4 square. I have a piece of basic white that's 3 by 5 1/4, and this basic white is 2 3/4 by 2. I have 3 pieces of designer series paper. These are all from the Rustic Harvest designer series paper. These are both 3.5 by 1 3/4. This piece with crushed curry is 1 by 5 1/4. And this piece of crushed curry is 3.5 by 1 3/4. And this Cajun Craze is 2.5 inches square. I'm also using some Stampin' Blends. This is the light Mossy Meadow, the Cajun Craze in both the light and the dark. This is Pumpkin Pie. This is the light Pumpkin Pie. And this is Daffodil Delight, the light Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to be using some of this black and white plaid ribbon. I love this ribbon because it can be colored any color you want, really, with the Stampin' Blends or other ways of coloring ink. But I'm going to just use it black and white. So I'm going to start off by doing my stamping. And I'm pulling in my Stampin' Pierce mat. The Stampin' Pierce mat gives you a better image a lot of times. So I'm going to just stamp the flowers. And that's in the Tuxedo Black. With the Cajun Craze, I'm going to stamp my pumpkin. And on the crushed curry, I am going to stamp my banner. And true confessions, I did some surgery on my stamp. I was going to use a different greeting and ended up deciding to stick with the greeting that was there. But I don't know if you can see that when I cut, some of the foam got cut away and I trimmed it off, and I really should not have. It's really hard to cut from the inside of the stamp. From this side it looked fine. I thought it was going to be fine, but the foam was missing here, and so there wasn't enough pressure to stamp my words right. So we'll see if I fixed it up well enough for this stamp. And let me try again. That was not a good image, and I don't think that's because of my surgery. Oh, much better. And I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I like to use the light gray. It's really made for embossing, but I find it works really nicely with the dies. I don't have to pressure these to go through so much. And I'm using the banner. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape. Got a little bit of a shadow, so I hope you can see this okay. Putting some washi tape on there to hold it in place. Cover it up with my clear plate and roll it through. And we'll cut out the pumpkin. If you use the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can actually cut all three of these at the same time. So we'll cut the pumpkin. And I probably should have done my coloring on this piece first before I cut it out, but that's okay. And I'm just pulling in a piece of scratch paper just to protect my surface. And I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow for all of the leaves. And again, this is the light. And I don't know why I always start with the leaves. Sometimes I think if I ended with the leaves, I would get them all. I always end up leaving out a few leaves when I start with the leaves. And I'm using the light Cajun Craze for these flowers. There's just 2 of them. And I'm using light pumpkin pie for these flower petals. You could really use the light Cajun Craze here or the Daffodil Delight. I'm not doing any fancy blending or anything. I'm just coloring. And Daffodil Delight on these flowers. And the Cajun Craze for the big flower centers. And now we're ready to assemble. So this strip with the crushed curry is going to go on the edge. And this white is going to go here. I didn't really plan for any design on the inside, but you certainly could add. There's a couple of elements of design here. And maybe I'll put these in both corners. Let's see. And these kind of graphic designs. And I'm just kind of making this up as I go. And you can decide to color those or not. Let's see, maybe I will. Why not? And we'll go ahead and put this on the inside of the card. Then we're going to put the two remaining designer series paper on the black. And if there is a gap, I didn't really plan for there to be a gap in the middle, but it looks like I do have a little bit of a gap. But I'm going to be putting the ribbon there anyway. Well, not really a gap. This is really a scrap from the end of a spool. And so I've got more than I need, but I think you need about 12 inches. And I'm just tying a knot here. When I'm tying a knot, I try to keep the ribbon flat, and then if you pull one side, I usually pull the end, so pull this tight and then snug the other one around, and you get a really pretty knot that way. And trim the ends. And I meant to put the green on the top, so I'm going to just roll my knot over to the other side. And then you can put this up with dimensionals. Then I'm going to put it here. And I want to be sure that there's adhesive on the end here and also close to the edge here. And I'm going to put the flowers on top of the pumpkin. And then I will pop the pumpkin and the banner with dimensionals. And nobody will know that I made a mistake on this side. I'm going to put my banner up high. And I am kind of going off the end here. And I'll put my pumpkin down low. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free directions and links for the products I used. You can click individual products or the Add All to the cart. You will be able to remove products you don't need or add more products. I have lots of resources on my website. Most of them are free. It's easy to miss some of those resources or to get lost exploring. Let me take you on a quick tour. Just under the banner image are 6 links. Under Shop, you'll find links to the products from Bev, shopping strategies, my frequent shopping points, and a sampling from the clearance rack. Under Inspiration, you can link to scroll all of my projects since 2011. The products may be retired, but you may be inspired by a layout, color combination, or a technique. I have the basics, where I've written about stamps, ink and paper, cutting, adhesives, and my favorite tools. You'll find a link to Techie Tips and an easy link back to my latest post. Click on Getting Organized, and you'll find some of my resources for stamp case slips, product labels, large labels for designer series paper, and more. Case inserts for dies, embellishments, and anything I think might fit in a stamp case, including ink refills. You'll also find color tools and charts, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, tabs and a quick reference for the annual catalog, and plans for toolkits. I have a video of my craft wall and more. Click on Evernote Current Products and you can learn how to share my notebook. This notebook has a note for every current product from Stampin' Up! It allows you to search by color, image, product type, word, phrase, or event, and more. I include French, German, and Dutch names and numbers when available, and the prices for all the markets. Evernote synchronizes on your phone, tablet, and or your desktop or laptop computer, so you can look through the Stampin' Up! Catalog from anywhere, anytime. You can copy my notes for the products you own so you can find just what you're looking for. When products retire, I move them to the Retired Products Notebook, which I also share, and I host a notebook for Paper Pumpkin. Click on Sip Together and then Let's Stamp to come stamp with me or join my Sip Together team. There's also a link to learn a bit about me. The sitemap will help you navigate all these links from one page. And there are quick links along the side of my page. Shop Now takes you to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see the current host code. It would be a great help to me if you use that if you are ordering less than $150. You can click on the current catalogs to page through them online. And then there are my links to my 5 most recent posts. Thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you soon.